Hello, I'm Barks and I am the manager of Charlwood Football Club.
So we're here today for our Patreon subscribers to talk through probably the first proper filming session that we did, really. I think the Balcombe game. Been filming you for about 3 months at the previous season, kind of learning how to do stuff and figuring out the best cameras to use, that kind of thing. But this was the first proper shoot, I suppose.
Yeah, we obviously had the season before where we had some cup success, and this was, the first game of the season. You were joining us from the very start.
And you got quite a few new players, so I wasn't really familiar with who everybody was in the room at this point. Didn't really know.
Nor was I.
You were jet lagged after all.
Yeah, I should have mentioned it a couple of times, but yeah, I'd obviously just come back from Chicago, just whizzed straight in. I said it a couple of times on the video. I'm sure you might have picked up on that, but I was so tired at this point. I literally had landed at Gatwick and booted straight there, about 9 stone overweight as well, which is really handy on camera. So, yeah, I brought everyone along, and I knew that people were going to be disappointed, but I thought, because I'd been away, I was obviously getting feedback from Mike, my assistant there, who sometimes gets a word in if I let him. So I thought I'd bring everyone, do a warm-up and look at all the new boys and get us all there, but it meant that some people weren't going to play, basically.
Yeah, and I hadn't really... So by now we're a bit more familiar with storylines, and I'll talk to you about what there is for me to look out for, whereas back here it was just a case of turn up, whack the cameras on and hope that I pick something up in the edit. So at this point what I probably would have done is talk to the players that didn't get in the team a bit more, and also just be a bit more ballsy in the changing room there, because I remember people were getting in my way and I was just letting them, whereas now I'm much more likely to tell them to get out my way.
But they're used to it as well, aren't they? This is the first time they had the cameras, and they're probably not used to it at this level, having you there and all the footage. Yeah,
it's very different. And you mentioned Mike there. I haven't really introduced him on Bunch of Amateurs a great deal yet, because he always ends up getting cut. He's always in the edits, and then when I've got to reduce the time, there tends to be repetition. So here's when you start bollocking them.
Well, that warm-up, I couldn't believe it. Bearing in mind, like I've said in this bit here, that we'd had so many promotions and we had so much energy and togetherness as a side. And I was looking forward to this on the plane home. I was thinking about it all the way. And then the warm-up we had... I'm kind of having a go here. I've never seen them so quiet. Looking back, could have been a huge error because they might have been nervous, but I was shocked. It felt like they didn't care. So it was frustrating to see that, and I hadn't seen that before.
But yeah, I guess that's an issue from getting there late, is that you haven't really taken stock of the fact that it's a hot day. They've gone up a division. They're playing against a team that are playing on a proper football stadium, and there's a few guys in there that don't really know each other that well.
Yeah. Definitely. We got Ben Herdman, his brother, was playing for the other team as well. There you go. Are you jet lagged? Yeah. I think I've made it quite clear. Is that why you made the decision? I mean, he's lucky. Whoever said that, cheeky git.
That ref's a good ref. I like that guy.
I know we've kind of given him a bit of stick, haven't we? Not a bit of stick, but we've shown the penalties that he's had to make decisions on. But he's easily one of the best refs. He's a brilliant guy, good to talk to.
Quite commanding.
And open and honest. Won't come shout at you, tell you to shut up and things like that.
More on that in a
that's it. That's a pen all day referee.
See, the funny thing is, there are times when I slow things down when I'm in the edit, and I know for a fact that was outside, but it doesn't look great when I do put it in with the slowed down version.
What's he doing there? It's so slow. He's got no option. Left foot out of play.
That's the throw in, isn't it? At least the throw.
See, I put him centre back. That's what they're all giving me some stick about. Why you made that decision? That's why they're all looking at me funny.
Oh, what the players were?
Yeah, I can't remember why I did at the time. I did have some theory behind playing there, but it obviously didn't work.
I wish I'd picked up the guy that says "Welcome to the Prem," because it's right here.
Now? Yeah.
One of them shouts it now, and it doesn't come up on any of the mics. I'd give anything for that, because it was season defining, that shout. Like that, it became the mantra for the season, didn't it? Welcome to Prem, welcome to Charlwood.
I mean, it's so arrogant to say that. Welcome to the Prem. It's unnecessary. You just scored as well.
Yeah, totally unnecessary, I think. But it comes back to bite them. And I actually spoke to this manager at the return game, and he was a really nice guy.
Michelin star chef.
Yeah, Michelin star chef. Yeah, good to chat to. Very honest and open. And he said that.
We know how Michelin stars came about, don't we? The Michelin tyres.
Don't get into that. He was very very open about that and said the
Go
Welcome
on,
to the Prem
Lippitt.
thing had come back to bite him.
Oh,
a bit.
did he?
Yeah. He said he was well aware of it.
That was interesting, those two goals. The first goal for us conceded a long throw. Always really difficult to defend the long throw because it's so flat and they come in such pace. And that's where the argument at half-time came from. And then that, good ball in from Jamie, and they just left Lippitt right round the back post, free header. And he's a good finisher, Lippitt. As he's got older, I've moved him around, but he gets goals and he knows where the goal is.
Yeah, I spoke to him before. He said he started off as a striker.
Yeah.
It was you that shoved him at left back.
Oh, it was me, was it?
Yeah. We did. So the GoPros overheated. This was before I really knew how to look after them. So we didn't. Out of the 4 or 5 cameras, only one camera picked that up, and we just about managed to squeeze it into the edit.
Terrible time to concede, obviously. What I love, obviously I didn't know at the time, Hurd's in here, what he's saying. He's saying, like, you know, we've come back from worse. You know, he's saying some really positive things.
See, Murph's there, who's not confident with this group yet enough to really sort of get stuck in. It's quite interesting dynamic that, you know, I was totally unaware of at the time.
We were just too stretched. We were too deep. Dean's worried about the ball over the top, and that's where the keeper needs a high starting line. We were really isolated with, you know, like I said, like the game against Hollington in the cup final with a striker on his own. We weren't joining in with him. We weren't linking up, and then.
But to your point there about Dino not, you know, he probably wants Zach to play higher, but you know he's not played with Zach a great deal.
Exactly,
He's only played 1 or 2 games before Zach for this team. So this is what people mean when they say having a stable defence and having that regular goalkeeper, knowing what your keeper's going to do as a defender. It's mad how much I've learnt about football. I mean, I've been watching football for 30 odd years, but I've learnt more in the last 2 or 3 years of doing this from you and from Mark than I have from going certainly from going to Charlton every week.
I'm constantly learning though. I'm constantly learning and constantly saying and doing things wrong. So there's nothing like experience, is there? And you can read all the textbooks, you can do all the badges, but when you're thrown in and you're dealing with real people, like someone coming back at me here, then having a debate.
So him coming back at you, this is something I want to pick up on that we haven't done before, and I want to make sure that we do this time. Zach and you eventually have a falling out a few games down the line, and it kind of starts here because he does talk during your team talks, and no one ever really did that. I'd never really seen anyone do that. And in hindsight, it wasn't really that unhealthy, but certainly it felt like he needed.
An old man then, and I gurn him. I don't know what to do.
He needed to kind of, I don't know, just learn about the dynamic of the dressing room, I suppose.
Yeah, one of the main culture shifts. I took over Child from Kieran, and when I watched Kieran, everyone was just talking over him, you know, all the time. And being a teacher, one of the things I always want is people just to listen. And Zach, obviously, I don't think Zach's been in this kind of environment maybe before where someone's talking at him, and what he said was absolutely fine, but obviously it did lead to me being a bit disgruntled at times.
So we just missed out on Jamie falling over quite easily there. I remember when I first started putting these edits out, I put the highlights on Twitter or whatever, you asked me to stop putting Jamie's dives out there.
Don't tell him that.
Because you didn't want refs to become aware or opposition teams to become aware, and that is a problem with this. You know how much we give away. I said that to Mark's right hand man John the Bible the other day. Like, how concerned are you about me giving away tactics?
How do we miss that? Yeah, I mean, even now teams will be looking back going, we lost that game. You know, Forest Road lost that game for a dodge. That was a pen, though, wasn't it?
I think that was more than the actual penalty. But this is a lovely goal. This is a lovely goal, and I
thought it's just about a fair tackle.
At this level, I think you get away with them.
Well, this is where our intro comes from, Fip. I've realised. Paney, because he says Paney. You know, like.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's where that bit of audio comes from. Yeah.
And Justin, I mean, if I could inject this kid with confidence, he has bags of ability, but. 1, he seems to like his beers on a Friday, and 2, he just doesn't believe in himself. Like look at the belief in his face. He knows he can, and then it's just so hit and miss, Justin. There's so much talent.
Yeah. I actually caught that goal on the drone. It's one of the only goals I've ever filmed on a drone, but it just doesn't cut into the edit very well, so I had to drop it out. I like these little moments. These are the moments I'm always looking for. I've got one in another game where the opposition player does that for Paney.
And they're losing, and someone says to him, "What are you taking?" That's a foul. I think
that was accidental. It does get quite nasty at times. This guy's a great save, isn't it?
Great save.
But Kev, every season it seems, has a dry spell and starts questioning himself.
This is what you get from Hurds in midfield. Look at this driving run, and then
that's a pen. If it's not a pen, then it's a red card. You can hear him say, and we put it on the TikTok video. He says, "I couldn't be sure, so I have to give it here because that's where I think it is."
I'm not 100% there.
Yeah, this is where it is. So that's fair enough, but it was still a red card, ref. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I mean, it's such a tight game. So tense.
Look at Lou here, big brother.
Yeah,
Go on,
I love
Lou.
the way he steps in here.
You leave my mate alone, buddy.
Yeah, I love it. He's only just met the guy, but that's fine. We're teammates now. Here we go. 1.1 million people have now seen this
Oh my God.
on TikTok,
I
which
can
is just
level with you now.
astonishing.
I thought Zach had gone here. I
Oh, yeah.
honestly, like, in the real time, I knew the guy diving in hadn't got anything. The fact he got a yellow card for that is unbelievable.
Yeah, like I say, we like that ref, so I don't want to diss him, but that is questionable. I think that sitting down on the floor thing. I mean, it was almost a red card for the opposition player as well. So, he's got away without even a booking, I think, and he's come in studs high. But yeah, that was a really fun day. I had 2 guys helping me. That hasn't happened very often. So we had good coverage.
Like
it was
I
a
say
5-goal
here,
thriller.
Hurds is just, I mean, as a manager, he's a dream. He's just an absolute dream. He's a great lad. He's a brilliant footballer. He's really proactive in the WhatsApp groups and, talking to the boy. Just he's an absolute dream, Hurds, as a bloke.
Could play at much higher level, surely.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, the last time we were at this ground was 3 months earlier for a cup final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Cup final that you won. We've never done anything with that footage. You should release some of that, at least on TikTok. But there you are. You're a bit more circumspect here. You willing to admit that you probably shouldn't have bollocked them, which is nice.
Yeah, I honestly don't think I was thinking clearly. Anyone's ever been jet lagged. I was so after this game I went and just slept. I was so all over the place, and I knew I didn't really know what I was doing. So the fact this video's getting so many views is
that's funny. Also, the
interesting.
dirty edits here make me feel unwell, but you can't swear because you're a teacher and you swear relentlessly in this team talk.
Lies.
And the only way, I don't have enough cameras to
Cut.
hide it, so the only way, there we go, that was like a joke, the amount of F's and C's that I had to cut out there.
Look at how fat I am. Oh my God.
The camera adds £10, it makes you wonder how many cameras are on you. No, not at all. I mean, this is, to be honest, this
Zoom
is...
in, 900k.
Well, yeah, this is before we've really learned how to set up interviews, and our techniques have changed. They're still not perfect. 2 or 3 of my cameras tend to be out of focus still when I do interviews, but the camera's too low, it's too tight, the location's poor. But, we didn't really intend for all of this to go out, but, here we are releasing season 1, so, we just have to accept that it's far from perfect. But
yeah, and like I said to you, I love season 1. Season 1's fascinating for me. I think it gives it the foundation for season 2. It gives it the backstory, and I think it's really nice for people to see kind of what went on before the ones that are out of season 2 at the moment.
Yeah, they're watching it. So there you go. That's our director's commentary for the first game of season 1. Join us for another one sometime soon.
Cheers, guys.